Question: what should you do when approaching a pedestrian crossing where people are waiting to cross? Question: when approaching a pedestrian crossing with people waiting to cross, what must you do? Question: at an intersection with a stop sign, what must you do? Question: when you see an emergency vehicle with flashing lights and sirens approaching, what should you do? Question: what should you do when approaching a railroad crossing with flashing red lights? Question: what should you do if your car begins to skid on a slippery road? Question: at a green traffic light, you want to turn left, but an oncoming car is going straight. What must you do? Question: what does a flashing yellow traffic light mean? Question: what does this road sign mean? Question: what should you do if your vehicle begins to skid on a wet road? Question: when parking uphill with a curb, what should you do? Question: what must you do when approaching a school bus with flashing red lights? Question: when driving at night and another vehicle approaches with high beams, what should you do? Question: when driving down a steep hill, how should you control your speed? Question: what does this road sign mean? Yield/give way sign. Question: what must you do when approaching a pedestrian at a crosswalk? Question: what does a flashing yellow traffic light mean? Question: what should you do when approaching a pedestrian crossing with people waiting to cross? Question: what should you do when approaching a roundabout? Question: when driving, you see this sign. Question: when driving in a residential area, you see this sign. Question: at a roundabout, you must yield to vehicles already in the circle? Question: how should you yield to an approaching emergency vehicle? Question: how should you proceed at this intersection? Question: how should the yellow car turn left at this intersection? Question: at an uncontrolled T intersection, car A is on the main road going straight, car B is on the side road turning left, and car C is on the side road turning right. Question: at an intersection with traffic, car A is turning right, car B is going straight, and car C is turning left. All cars arrive at the same time. Question: when a police officer is directing traffic at an intersection and their signals conflict with the traffic lights, what must you do? Question: what should you do when the traffic light turns yellow? Question: what must you do at a stop sign? Question: at a four-way intersection with no signals, car A wants to turn left, car B goes straight, and car C wants to turn right. In which order should the cars proceed? Question: what does this road sign mean? Question: which vehicle should go first at the uncontrolled intersection? Question: at a roundabout with no traffic lights, car A is turning left, car B is going straight, and car C is turning right. All cars arrive at the same time? Question: at a four-way intersection with no traffic lights, car A is turning left, car B is going straight, and car C is turning right. All cars arrive at the same time. In which order should the cars proceed? Question: what should you do in this situation? Question: what must the driver do when the green arrow light is on? Question: what should the driver do when approaching a roadworks on a highway? Question: what should the driver do when approaching a school zone? Question: how should the driver proceed on this road? Question: how should the driver approach this crosswalk? Question: how should the driver proceed on a snowy road? Question: what should the Tesla driver do while overtaking on the highway? Question: who has priority on a narrow road? Question: who has priority at a T-junction? Question: who has the right of way in this situation? Question: when can you go at a green bicycle traffic light? Question: when can you turn at a green arrow traffic light? Question: who has the right of way in this situation? Question: what should the driver do while on the highway at night? Question: at a junction with no traffic lights, car A is turning left, car B is going straight, and car C is turning right. All cars arrive at the same time. Question: who has the right of way in this situation? Question: who has the right of way in this situation?